is a statement of intent that comes along with qualifying for the rival series undefeated. And for one of these teams, they'll be allowed to make that statement of intent. As we're going to have a battle here between Zebranos and Triple Trouble. It's very much a match of varying experiences as well. We see Zebranos, they've got very long, steadfast players in their roster. We're looking at players like Zenzus, who has been playing at that top level of RLCS for so long. And then we see names like Maut. You'll know Maut very well because he went all the way back to winning the Pulsar Premier League Season 1.
I'm proud that you know that stat,
I know my
Shogun.
boys,
It brings a tear to my eye.
I got my Europe stats good.
On Boots and Cats, I believe, was the roster.
The only European team that even attempted to play in that tournament. But we have come a long way since then. On the other side, though, we have Triple Trouble, a team that has had players that have been playing for so long, but really looking for that breakthrough. This could be that for them.
I mean, you heard them mention it on the desk. A lot of times it's very hard for us to analyze you unless you can show us results, which kind of makes sense. Results kind of shows your raw skill to perform in competitive formats. But it's always, I hate doing that because I know a lot of players individually can do so much more. And as we know, especially with these qualifiers, I mean, right now we're looking at the number 8 and number 4 seed in the essentially the top match of the day. This is not number 1 and number 2 seed or not number 1 and number 4. So obviously, you know, when you're looking at that pretty much the top 16 seeds, I'd say in both these qualifiers, all of them could take each other's spots. It really does come down to consistency, and that's usually what puts you in the RLCS spots is once you have that raw consistency.
Well, Maut has shown us very good consistency recently. Yesterday, playing in the Gfinity Elite Series for the very first game that they had there, taking down #United. Now he would like to take down Triple Trouble and move himself on to the rival series. Can they do it, though? One result might just well tell us. Let's get ourselves down to DFH Stadium and start off our European Rival Series play-in carpet. Happy Europe Day to you, my friend.
Happy Europe Day to you too, Shogun.
Every Sunday is Europe Day, but Maut likes to make this his day as he gets the early challenge. They end up going all the way back to the blue side. Going to be very interesting to see who can establish dominance in this first match. Nexo just over the top. Gets taken out by Tadpole, removing the threat directly. And we saw yesterday, especially in the very first match of the day, just how nervous people can be, because it's one thing trying to take the shot and score it, but it's a different thing handling those nerves.
Look at that touch from Anda.
He's just handling nerves, let's prove it.
I mean, that touch alone, I think, is what made that counterattack just so threatening. Tadpole just using everything he can to get up into the corner, just to help flush it in front of the net as quickly as possible. I mean, at that point, it's just a matter of facilitating the ball where it's already wanting to go.
You're not going to be nervous if you're just hitting the ball really hard, but it's always going to work. Ball up high. Tadpole looking to try and follow. It's going to go straight over to Maut. Couldn't quite get the block. Would have been an extremely difficult situation for Zebranos had that happened. Triple Trouble trying to find a second goal. Could be sneaking in. Maut has to try and get there. Andem looking for another block shot. And able to quite do it, but a very good start here from Triple Trouble. Forcing Zebranos into their final third and starting to squeeze them out. They need to make something good of this. But another early block means Tadpole can come back in, and we are straight back to the final third.
And they're keeping it just out of the reach of Zebranos, I should say. Triple Trouble getting there quickly. A lot of times just making touches to keep it away from them, not letting them gain control. It might not always be directly towards a teammate, but it's at least towards empty space enough for someone to contest the next ball.
It's a very smart way of playing, especially when you've got a goal up. You're not trying to rush. You don't have to do anything more. Just take the opportunities if you can get them, but ensure that you don't make a major mistake. Now Tadpole, already downfield, can immediately take control. Lovely there from Nexo, decides he was bored of waiting around, waiting for it to come to him, and just took it away. Once again, in the final third. Need to get it away. They need to stop finding one another. Otherwise, Zebranos could be in big trouble. 2 minutes now passed through. Tadpole, once again, the facilitator of the clear. Follows up his own move.
Never mind on that one.
Either way, it's been solid possession so far, but Zenzus, one of the most experienced players we have on the pitch, needs to be a difference maker, which is going to be a little bit more difficult for him because he was always very much that third man for a lot of teams that he did play for. But he really needs to try and show off some of his skill and talent in this series.
I mean, looking at the hard numbers right now, Shogun, you'll have 6 shots on Triple Trouble, 0 shots for Zebranos. They've had no control. They haven't been able to make any opportunities, and that will continue as the ball off the side is going to leave Andem for a shot.
Yeah, huge mistake over here. Zenzus tried to turn around, couldn't reach it. And Andem will pick up his second goal of the match. Talk about a confidence boost.
That goal explosion always catches me off guard.
It always scares me.
That just like droning, like, bah!
It's like, okay, you scored. You didn't have to rub it in. It's right up there with the party time goal explosion.
That one's the best one. Oh, 2 going for that, though. All 3 in the corner. He just needs to push it to the middle.
Oh, Andem.
Oh, no.
Seems like he's more focused on scoring himself, and he'll get the hat trick. 3 minutes played, 3 goals for Andem. Triple Trouble are rolling in this match.
Zebranos is really not performing to the standard I know they can, and I'd assume you agree with me on this one.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, 0 shots, 4 saves, all 3 of them in the corner. We know they're experienced players. It says that in their titles. They're showing it off right now. They've got the elite title, the contender title, but right now they're just really not performing.
I expected one team to struggle under the pressure. I did not expect it to be the team it currently is. It's Mao and Zenzus, they clatter into each other. Mal's gonna have to continue moving on, but he had very little boost, so we can't create too much here. Although mistakes from Triple Trouble gonna leave an opportunity open. Just over 100 seconds left in the match. Andem once again using that Batmobile to create so much power as he transitions. And that's really been the major struggling point as we see more defensive mistakes coming out from Triple Trouble. They'll be happy for their lead right now. But Triple Trouble have done such a good job of transitioning away from defense. This is the very first time we've really seen a long period of pressure from Zebranos, and even then, it didn't really create too much.
I mean, this is where they try their best to use the last minute and a half to just figure out Triple Trouble on defense, see where their mistakes are, see where their hiccups are, see where you can overwhelm them. So at least going into the next match, you can try and open up with that.
Ronicky puts the shot off the crossbar, follow-up, not quite there. Heading into the final minute, and I agree with you right now, Carpet, there has to be almost a momentary thought from Zebranos just going, all right, this is going to be so hard for us to get back to. Then maybe test some stuff out. Mount gets the ball in, 51 seconds, and 2 goals separate.
Hey, that's possible, man. That is definitely a possible thing. Up until this goal, it seemed a lot more dangerous. I think Nexel probably wanted to put that on net. That's probably what he was going for, but to be fair, you know, it did the job it needed.
The nice thing about that backboard is you get it in or you get off the backboard. Either way, you're happy with the result. It's still a good position for you to be in. Mount puts it up high. Tadpole is going to flail. Nexo unable to turn around in time, however. Ronicky will be able to challenge. Still 3 players against 2, though. Kind of a wasteful touch, though, from Mount. Put it straight over to a player waiting already on the backboards. Now, an opportunity to put it up to 3 yet again. No, Nexo takes control, gets it over 1.
Plays.
He did get hit, though, on his way up. Couldn't recover in time, and he was out of that play. Tadpole, once again, all over the pitch. Final 13 seconds. Tadpole over to Ronicky. With this 2-goal difference and pressure on the blue end. So it's pretty much going to be game right now. A solid game from Triple Trouble, but mistakes were made on both sides. There is plenty of match to grow into.
Triple Trouble.
Oh, just about.
Still able to keep the lead, though. They didn't let it go too much. While you definitely saw them fall apart on defense, especially in that last minute and a half, when their opponents really started to put the pressure on. Zebranos seemed a little more in form, ended with 5 shots. So considering they had literally 0 until like a minute and a half left, maybe 2 minutes, they clearly had more control. 7 saves, 6 for Mount alone. And you always got to think, is that because Mount's trying to do too much on defense, or is it because his teammates are making him do too much on defense?
I have no idea.
Too hard to know.
Mount's
just
not
by
the player
glance.
I expected at all to be at the top of the saves there, because he does have Zensus on the team. When he plays during Gfinity, he's got Waffle there. Our name for Waffle over at the Gfinity Elite Series is the Wall of Waffle, because he is just that solid on defense. That's Tom Deacon's fault, okay?
I feel like I should know.
Us.
I feel like is that a phrase? That's a real phrase? Or
No, but he's made it one at this point.
Yeah, we'll make
His
it
comedy
slide.
is worse than James's.
That is something to say. That is definitely something to say.
But I love you, Tom. Okay, I love you. But wait, something does need to change here. The defense overall was very shaky. I feel like Tadpole is both one of the best and worst things happening right now on the Triple Trouble team, because he's doing so much, but at the same time, because he's being relied on so often, that when he tries to go too fast with very little boost, he's making major mistakes and sort of leaving them open to the counterattack. However, at the same time, he's incredibly fast. That sort of takes the game to their opponents anyway.
I mean, you give your teammates a sort of expectation about halfway through a match when they see where your groove is, they see what you're going for, they see what you're confident in, And if that starts to fall off even for a short period of time, your teammates are going to position assuming you're going to get what you're going for. So that's a lot of times when you'll see teammates just kind of either get in each other's ways or really have to react quickly.
Zenzus and the rest of Zebranos want to try and bounce back from their previous loss as quickly as possible. Nexo launching it off the backboard. 2 players around, but Tadpole was the one that called for it. Now pulling it up yet again. They need to find each other somehow. Zenzus looking for the redirect. He can get it, but it's off the crossbar. No one in net. Opportunity for Zebranos to go 1-0 up as we come into game 1. Playing much further up the field this time around. Zebranos do not want to bounce straight down to a 1-goal deficit like they did in our first match. Nice challenge there from Mount. Ball over to the side. Zenzus has got options around. Wasn't able to get there though. Just a bit too close to the ball.
Yeah, he wanted to grab that boost while he was at it. He was hoping for...
You're getting a little bit too greedy with everything you want to achieve there. Nexo. Not great contact from him. Ronicky can now take over. He put it straight up to Zenzus, however. Now Andem straight up to Ronicky yet again. Very little boost. Still managed to make something out of it. Andem, they've been the peripheral goal scorer this time.
Zenzus
gets it over. Tadpole's shot is blocked, and now the counterattack could be here, but just not fast enough from Zebranos. An opportunity goes to waste.
That half flip save was insane. Cannot believe he was able to react in time. Triple trouble. Want to try and keep this pressure up. The moment they noticed Zebranos couldn't get the counterattack. Uh-oh, 2 going up for it.
That's going to leave Nexo in a very difficult position. Andem going for the long form of setting up. Probably could have been a lot more direct considering it was a one-on-one. Now Ronicky launching lock. Mao going to put it straight over to the corner. Now a defender taken out. Andem looking for the setup. Going to go find Tadpole. Not there though as Mao responds. Now down to the other end of the pitch. Has got it taken away from him though. Only 1 player left in it and Andem chooses to shoot.
Tadpole up.
Could have probably gone laterally instead. He did have someone around to help him out. Maybe Andem's got the first for goal. He's gonna show that first. Drinking it in with his first shot and his first goal.
The solo play, I'm surprised they let him get this from the side. I mean, you had to assume he was going to go for it. I think Nexo's just too far back, trying to read it as well. You saw that kind of thinking moment where he's like, this is where it's going. Now I'm gonna jump. Maybe he could have gotten there quicker.
Andem needs to be a focus right now for Zebranos. That is his 4th goal in only 2 games so far. And we're not even finished with game 2 just yet. Lovely flick from Nexo, but it won't get any further than Tadpole. Zenzus over to Nexo yet to go. Again, goes infield. Mao on target, no power though. And Triple Trouble will happily clear away. They are not under a huge amount of trouble or pressure just yet. As Mao clears straight over to Andem. They really need to start finding one another now because these midfield shots are just not going to break down. A bad touch there from Tadpole. Might set up Nexo. Ronicky comes in, and he has saved his teammate from some extreme blushes.
But not fully, though. You can see them still trying to put this pressure on, take the shots where they can. Clear from Nexo. Oh, nice second touch from him as well.
This is much better right now from Zebranos. Starting to find their offensive rhythm, but almost get caught. That shot was on target. Need to find a way through. Tadpole up, Tadpole in. Lovely 1-2 play.
Just when you think it might be all the way across the net and you might be safe. Don't know what the thought process going through Mount is. He knew he had to get the touch, but there's no way he knew Tadpole was there unless someone shouted it out. He may have had a sense, but he wouldn't be able to see him if he had ball cam on. Nicely done.
It's that great thing about just being a loitering player. Zenzus, though, could bring this back to 1. And after such a great goal to put the 2-goal lead up, it is a kickoff that hands it back to 1.
Just a slow, I guess a slow kickoff from Mount. He was definitely the second man to touch it. A good 50-50 for him. Popped right up. You don't see that very often in competitive play.
It's also very rare that we see like that much of a defensive mistake in terms of the kickoff. Usually the person coming back needs to be much faster. Or you just didn't expect it. Now
nice challenge.
Try and put this back up. It's 2-all. And just like that, the lead has evaporated.
This challenge from Mount right here, reading that touch into the wall so well and then just getting there as fast as he can. The moment it passes that post, he's pushing it right in.
Feels like just a second ago, Tadpole was scoring that incredible redirect. Now we are all
It was
tied
just a second
up.
ago.
Exactly.
It feels
just
like exactly what it was.
Yeah, blinking it happened more or less. Now Mount and Zenzus pretty much in the same position. Ronicky can move forward for this. Took a little bit too much time. Ends up taking a player out for it, however. Tadpole off the backboard. Zenzus needs to get there. It's not a great touch. Andem can move forward. We've seen how lethal he can be. Mount takes out Andem. Now Tadpole forced to play all the way back to a just respawning Andem. Could definitely say right now, Triple Trouble doing a much better job of spacing across the field. Whilst the majority of Zebra Nose's offense has been off the backboard or off mistakes from the Triple Trouble defense. Tadpole now up, should leave it, but was beat to the ball by Zenzus. Gonna go long. Tadpole tries to go backwards. He's got a little bit on it. Still not enough, however, off the backboard, but Ronicky has read that well. Already up there, waiting to receive. We head into the final 30 seconds, silver gold territory. And Zebra Nose, they really need to win this one, otherwise they're going to have so much work to do. It'll be match point for Triple Trouble.
The shots much more even this match. Triple Trouble with 7, Zebra Nose with 6. And it's pretty much been even all across the board the entire game, and now tied with only 10 seconds left.
Zenzus just going to go and steal some boost away. That might actually offer an opportunity. Ronicky's touch seemed to have necessity there, recognizing he didn't have the boost to move forward and challenge, so instead took up the wall for himself. And we are going to go into overtime. Right now, I really want to see some spreading out from Zebra Nose. Have a target man upfield. Definitely playing with 3 men behind the ball right now.
And I imagine that's only going to get stronger in overtime.
Absolutely. Overtime is the make or break of Rocket League. Tadpole. Gonna go straight over. Not a great touch from Andem, but still. Could have challenged over in the corner. Zenzus does get B off the backboard yet again. 2 players. Mount will be in the back. He's been pulled out of position very slightly, but nobody from Triple Trouble wanting to move forward. Now plenty of time yet again. They can find these passes. It could be incredibly difficult for Zebra Nose to do anything about it because they are waiting on the goal line. Off the post! Follow-up is not there. For all the good Triple Trouble have done so far, they almost got caught for a 3rd time. Now Zenzus got Nexo. Much better play right now. Starting to open it up. Catching out Triple Trouble. Follow-up. Zenzus over to Mount. Mount taps it down. Shot not powerful enough.
They still got control. Nexo just trying to push it out from a hard clear.
Now up. Ronicky, he's got options infield. Couldn't make contact. He's going to need bailing out of this situation. Yet another launch, and yet your theory is coming true very quickly here, Carpet. But not only is Zebra Nose playing with 3 players behind the ball, but also Triple Trouble being a lot less creatively risky now. Trying their hardest to just not make those mistakes that could cost them game 2. Ronicky takes a touch. He could end to regret it. Took it away from one of his own teammates. Now Zenzus has an opportunity to put the pressure back on. Nexo all the way out. No follow-up. That is how defensive, that is how much the rival series means to these 2 teams. Mao all the way back, not willing to overcommit even for a good goal-scoring opportunity.
Oftentimes when the pressure's on, you want to kind of just hope for a mistake over trying to put yourself in risky situations where you have to perform, because then you're leaving it up to all of your team. Mount! He's going to push it all the way in. I thought someone was going to contest that, but he's actually able to give them this overtime victory.
Mount picks up his brace, and at a crucial time at that, another Triple Trouble defensive mistake will cost them. And to be honest, they only have themselves to blame for this loss. We are all tied up at 1 game apiece.
Zebra Nose able to keep their cool, even if they were playing very defensive. Kind of the point I was talking about. If you're going to play a hyper-defensive game, it's a lot of times because you are waiting for your opponents to do something which you would consider to be silly. Like, why would you do that? Yeah. You just went for that too many, or maybe you got a really good demolition. But that means you're not letting yourself play your game, and you're not giving yourself the opportunity to thrive and or maybe make the executions that you want to. But it's because you're too scared that you're going to mess up that execution and then leave something wide open for your opponents.
This is definitely becoming more of a battle of nerves compared to a battle of skill right now. Who can start to implement their strategy better and ease in to this high-pressure situation? For some of these players here, yeah, sure, they've played in Gfinities, they've played in other tournaments, they've played online. They've not played at this sort of level before, and that becomes something completely different.
And we've talked about it a lot yesterday, just how cutthroat it can be in the rival series. You don't have a playoff. You just have to perform every single week and every single game that you're in to put yourself in the top 4. If you're not top 4, you're eliminated. And right now, if you don't even make it, then you don't even get a chance to do that.
I mean, put yourself in Zenzis' position. Last season, got top 4 in league play. Now he finds himself in this qualifier. Yep. He's got to be furious with his situation. But I'm sure he would like to bounce back with a win here. Still, Triple Trouble in the way of that dream. We're going to be heading into game number 3. Still got things I want to see from both teams right now. I want to see Triple Trouble clean up this defense, be a little bit more communicative together. Whilst on the side of Zebra Nose, just a little bit of creativity would be the spark required, as that's a creative play. Andem set up from a sublime pass.
We've seen some pretty good passes from Triple Trouble just this series alone. The touch from Tadpole was actually insane. That could not have gone any better. Straight to Andem. It was all on Andem to miss that, and thankfully he did not.
Andem's shooting has been just incredible throughout this entire series thus far, and if they can get passes like that to him, there is no reason why he can't just put in banger after banger. Tadpole. We're putting it straight back over to the blue side. Immediately, Zebra Nose find themselves needing some sort of response. Andem winning the ball yet again. Nexo will find himself the last player back. Early shot from Ronicky. Wanted to test out that rotating back defense. Can be incredibly difficult to do, but did hold his nerve.
Zentis buying his team out of a risky spot. 2 went up for it, and he was able to get a good clear, giving his team some time to reset. And at this point now, they just want to see if they can pressure Triple Trouble enough, steal some boosts, slow them down. But it doesn't. Mount! No! After such a good ending last game.
I don't think he expected the second touch. We're going to take a look again here. Ronicky, he gets the one, and he gets a second one.
Yeah.
So effectively, if you're looking at it as a defender, you think the ball's going down. The person is above the ball. He's going for it. It should be going down, but instead, Ronicky gets a second touch out of nowhere and just flings it back up, taking Mount out of the play. I don't know how much of that he meant.
Yeah, side flips underneath the ball. Sometimes during that rotation, you just get an extra wheel on it or an extra corner of the car. It'll get a flick up, but just a little bit too close to his teammate. And it seems like Zebra Nose are going to put themselves in a bit of a hole early on in this game.
Bit of a communication mistake as well. Ball's just going to roll in. Zebra Nose are falling apart in game 3.
This can't be good.
Really can't be. I mean, there was 2 mistakes.
I've never seen that banner.
That's really nice looking.
It's a cool looking banner.
There's 2 mistakes though after each other. There was the ball played over to the corner. Defender should have come out for it, but instead there was just a lack of communication and didn't go for it. And then an awful touch from Zenzis. For the defensive mistakes that I've been going on about for Triple Trouble, these are 10 times more infuriating to see right now, because we know they can do better. If this was just some other random run-of-the-mill team that we've never seen before at this stage before, we would be able to understand it. But these are players that are experienced and should know better than to make these mistakes.
I mean, to give Triple Trouble credit as well, I mean, look at the touches they're making to try and pass it off to each other. Some of these insane angles coming from the weirdest places. I mean, look, even just that right there from Ronicky, able to push that through on a pretty tight angle. They are consistently getting those touches, which is forcing Zebra Nose to have to move so much further.
Oh, speaking of incredible touches, that pass deserved a goal at the very least. Now Andem will be going up, can't get it in.
Oh.
Of all the shots we've seen him nail so far, that is one that I would have pegged down for him to score, but couldn't quite do it. Still, with a 3-goal lead. He won't be beating himself up too much about that one. 2.5 minutes remaining. Lots of work for Zebra Nose to do. It seems like the storm has finally settled for them. They can move back into the neutral game of Rocket League, but now need to find that goal that can start setting the wheels in motion for the comeback. Ronicky clearing long. Lovely touch there from Zenzis from a very difficult starting position. Now Ronicky looking to put it straight over. I think he was thinking net or Tadpole. I don't think he really cared which one he hit. Was just about unable to catch either of them. Tadpole shot yet again. It's going to go in. Mal caught flat-footed. Just stood completely still in the net.
I mean, this is some pretty impressive play from Triple Trouble. They are everywhere they need to be, and all those really tight angle shots and touches. I mean, having to react to those constantly, and now every time you see someone go for something and you're on Zebranos, you have to assume it's going to be the best touch of their life.
So incredibly difficult to play against once you know an opposing team has got those passing plays in their repertoire. Because you suddenly start to think to yourself, okay, they're not going direct, and there's going to be a passing play attempted now from Zebranos. If they can start pulling these off, this will help them out. 2 players committed in defense, 1 player taken out with the demo, and a big old bump from Ronicky will remove the pressure. Triple Trouble can now start looking to really lay in the hurt, put in that 5th goal. Tadpole now up, almost, once again, the 2nd time this game. Triple Trouble bouncing the shot off the crossbar, but the majority of the pressure still on the side of Zebranos, and a demo will not make this game any easier for them to remember.
Triple Trouble just has so much control. I mean, correct me if you think I'm wrong, Choga, but I think Zebranos just, since they're playing so passive, it's just letting Triple Trouble do whatever they want. They have so much control of the pitch. They have so much space to do what they want to do.
So it's the same problem that a lot of teams have against Cloud9, of they play so passively because there's too much respect, as we see yet another one go in from a position it really, really shouldn't. But when we see teams play against Cloud9, they play so far behind the ball that they're effectively in their final third all the time.
Yeah.
That plays into their strengths, because Cloud9, we already know, likes to go for those lateral passes. They like to use 90 degrees to get the ball to one another. If you're doing that exactly like Zebranos is doing right now to Triple Trouble, who can also implement those sort of passing plays, you're just asking for trouble, really, because they can just go, okay, we're going to open up as much space as we want. You're not really going to come and challenge us.
I'm going to ignore that you said asking for trouble against Triple Trouble.
It's hard. A lot of these names in Rocket League, it's hard to avoid puns.
Yeah, that's fair. I'll let this one slide.
It's the ones where you're trying to cast a lot, so I've already made him very aware of my displeasure at his name.
At this point, 5 goals down. Zebranos, everybody's just going to throw themselves at the ball. You can't assume you're going to get this one back. But into the tie series, this will put them only 1 game down, but it will put Triple Trouble on game point to be our first qualified Rival Series European team.
The desk looking to be very right at this point in time. This could be the 6th, and that was almost a disappointing shot considering him. That was...
Wait, I thought the desk had...
I believe the desk said Triple Trouble.
No.
No, they didn't.
No,
they didn't.
And I could be wrong. I like seeing Gibbs wrong. Just Gibbs,
I gave them too much credit. I gave them too much credit, but right now, you can't give enough credit.
I mean, 5-0
over to Triple Trouble.
5-0 right now. 2 shots for Zebranos. That does not feel good at all. And I said it before in the very first game when they didn't seem to perform up to their standard. It seems they fell off. Now here again in game 3. We know they're capable of it. Not trying to say negative things about them. I'm not saying they're bad players at all. I'm saying the exact opposite. I'm saying I know they're incredible players, and I want to see more of that. But to touch on our conversation we were speaking about towards the end of that game, when you respect a team too much is when you are going to let them respect all over you.
Yes.
They're just going to do whatever they want because you're letting them just have full control. They're able to get the passes. And the touches right now, the Triple Trouble are pulling off consistently are kind of blowing my mind.
Yes.
The fact that we're seeing this in a qualifier for the Rival Series is kind of terrifying.
Well, on the side of Zebranos as well, there's been a couple of very fundamental mistakes we're seeing. I believe it was goal 3 where Matt was just sort of stuck on the goal line and the ball just went past him. Why is he not rotating to the back post and waiting for the ball to come to him? There is no reason for him to be just slap dad in the middle and moving forward very slightly because he's always going to be out of position there should anything come towards his net.
Now, do you think maybe he's too confident in assuming that they can make something out of these plays? Maybe they, we know they're respecting their opponents, but are there at times where maybe the exact opposite is happening? Maybe they assume, hey, we can get control of this. I know we can start the passing plays, but they're just getting too antsy to get to that phase?
Maybe. It also could be a case of, like I said, it was a couple of goals down and they're sort of thinking to themselves, well, we have to get forward no matter what. So if we see that sort of mistake again, then I'll probably go in on them a little bit more. As we see Ronicky making his own mistakes, managed to bail himself out. But as you did mention, this is now must win for Zebranos. As Triple Trouble find themselves on match point on their path through to the Rival Series. And looking for Tadpole. Won't be able to get there, not enough boost on him. Now Zentus over in the corner. He's done a great job of controlling this ball. Zentus, he rips, he tears, and he destroys the Triple Trouble defense.
He used every ounce of boost to get this control, crosses it all the way through, and then drops it in a net. He had 8 boost when he made that shot. He knew he had the opportunity to try and pop it over that final defender, the solo plays. You don't see very often in the current meta of Rocket League, but when you do, it's still pretty as ever.
And what a time to pull it out as well. When Zebra Nose are trying to bounce back from a 5-goal loss, to put that in within the opening minute, that's going to raise morale so much. Now Mount and Nexo going to come in. Zenzus, another big block. Tadpole has to come through and clear the trouble away. Great start so far from Zebra Nose. They'll want to start looking for that second goal. And forced to rotate back and take the ball away. Tadpole misses. Mount can now play the ball infield. Good smart play. Nexo not quite in position now. Zenzus will be one-on-one against Ronaki. Looks to get the ball past. And Zebra Nose are starting to show that veteran experience.
It's like they just erased everything that had happened. Now they're like, let's just look for each other. Screw it. I actually didn't think Zenzus could keep that as high as he did. The way he was coming underneath it, it looked like the ball almost got away from him, but he was able to get the side flip just as he got underneath the bottom half of that ball, and he was able to keep the height on it.
The elite players always find a way. We can look at it over and over again. You just go, yeah, that works. But when you're looking at it in the real time, you just go, yeah, it's not a chance. Now looking for that third. I'm sure Zebra Nose would love to put as much damage down on Triple Trouble as they did in the previous matchup. 5 goals has got to be the aim right now. Whilst Triple Trouble will be looking for their way back into this match. Plenty of time to do it. 3 minutes and 20 remaining. Ronaki trying to find Andem over in the middle. Andem over to Tadpole. No real reason for Zebra Nose to make any mistakes right now. None of that was overly threatening. It's very difficult to create opportunities from the corner. That's the reason why Zenzus' play to start this match off is what was so impressive. Because whenever you're in that corner, it's just like, okay, we know where the ball's going. We know where you're going to play it to. We can deal with it very easily. Now Nexo. Clearing yet again. Going to try and follow up his own touch. He's got it all the way back down to the orange end. And over to Ronaki. Getting everyone involved. Shot is up, and Zenzus not far enough back. Caught out. And we are back to a 1-goal game.
Textbook counterattack. From goal to side, straight back to the middle for your third player. All 3 players touching that ball right after each other. That is exactly what you have to do the moment you catch anyone off guard. The moment you see anyone's put up too far, like, hey, how quickly can we get a shot on their net?
That could very well kill off the momentum that Zebra Nose had put together at this point. Nexo wants to bounce the ball off the backboard. There'll be no one there to follow up. I do not want to see Zebra Nose go back into their turtle shell. I want them to keep playing in the way they were to start this matchup. Don't get discouraged just because you got caught once. Zenzus will win the challenge. Andem doesn't get too much out of that. And now the follow-up can be there from Nexo. Levers the ball at the net. And then the follow-up from Zenzus. Lovely setup play. Zenzus picking up his third, and what a time to get a hat trick.
I'll never know how intentional some of these are. Honestly, missing was his better option in this situation. Just putting it out of the reach of Tadpole. If Tadpole didn't make that front flip, he would have let a goal in. And even if he did make the front flip, he couldn't reach the ball. So it was that perfect out of reach, like holding someone like a dollar bill on a fishing line. Just out of reach, he couldn't do anything about it. Very well played, and now 2 up for Zebra Nose.
Ronaki would like to get it back very quickly. Tried to place the shot rather than slamming it. Almost worked as well, but the double commit actually working in favor this time around. Offering a much bigger wall, a much bigger safety net. Ronaki once again puts the ball up. Lovely save from Zenzus. Nexus will not be able to get there as Tadpole once again putting this back to 1 goal.
Every now and then we just see a miss. Mount. To be fair, that was in the death corner. I think it hit in the top corner of the map, which is the worst, especially when you're on that backboard. Because once it starts to get away from the backboard, you lose a lot more confidence and have to think way harder as to how to hit it. But he wasn't able to get the hit, and no one in his team was underneath to follow it up.
Every single time, Zebra Nose might start thinking to themselves that they are finally free and clear. Triple Trouble are reeling them back in. No third man there able to turn in the setup. 90 seconds remaining now. Tadpole looking for Andem. He set himself up as he tried to get it back over to Tadpole. Ronaki looking for the shot. A big bump as well. We are all tied up.
I have never seen bumps in tandem from a team. Both defenders getting smacked. Andem taking one, Tadpole taking the other. Mountain Senses both get smacked out. That was awesome.
The winners of the synchronized bumping competition is Triple Trouble. Incredible gameplay. But now they need to round this out. They have got it tied up. And they've got Zebra Nose second-guessing themselves, because what can go right for them right now, if even setting themselves at the back line doesn't mean they're safe. Nexo putting the ball up high. He's going to have Zenzus to aim for. Not a great touch, though. Double commit means that there's going to be very little follow-up. Now Roniki playing the ball long yet again. Got options. It's going to be Andem off the backboard. Still all tied up. 45 seconds remaining now. That could be all the time it takes for Triple Trouble to book their place in the rival series. Zenzus all the way down. No one challenging. Shot straight into the car of Andem. Just jumped and hoped, and he managed to get incredibly lucky because the shot was right at him.
Zenzus keeping it wide to try and keep control, following up for the second touch. I was scared they were going to polish off the old turtle shell, but they seem to have been keeping on just as much offense as their opponents on Triple Trouble.
10 seconds now. Mount and Nexo both over. Zenzus is going to have to be incredibly brave to go for this. Had to win, and he did. If he was beat to that ball, there was nobody back, and there is no more lifelines. This is a must score for Zebra Nose, otherwise they will be put down to the lower bracket. Tadpole all the way up. Good block from Zenzus. Do not expect them to turtle up this time. Big mistake, though.
Ouch.
Once again, off the backboard. Andem will see his shot blocked by Roniki. There's another big ball played over. Tadpole looking to try and clear away. Nexo can't quite get it there. Now Roniki clears long. Tries to follow up himself. Can't quite do it, though. Tadpole, once again, is the target man. Roniki is over in the goal, just hounding away at his opponents. But Mount, 2v1, Nexo in supply. He goes by himself. Let's see Game 5.
They keep themselves alive. Mount on just a drive, just a straight drive into the net. Roniki wanted to try and contest that in any way he could, but Mount, steadfast, he stayed behind that ball. He went for that front flip. Great 50-50 from him, and Zebra Nose will stay alive after a very short overtime, considering how that match went.
I love the fact that they just already up immediately. Like,
Yeah.
no, we want to go. Like, I would have to chill. Okay,
Yeah.
I would need a second to just relax and get myself ready to go yet again. What a match there. But the highlight of that game, there could not be anything else other than that incredible double bump play. Carpet, just gush, please.
I have never seen this. The fact that they both went for the bump. The fact that two players thought it at the same time and they both actually did it. I figured maybe at least one of them would miss, but they both got a smack on their opponents, and that ball, there was nothing to get in the way. That had to be one of the coolest ways I've ever seen a ball go in. That was so much fun.
That was absolutely ridiculous. But let's also touch upon that final play. Yes, it does look like Mount is just driving straight forward, but he's only able to do that because he has support from someone, I believe, off camera to the left. So the defender has to look at both plays. He's got two situations he has to deal with: the infield pass or the possibility of Mount just going for it. So when that happens, he has to try and cover both. Wasn't able to. Mount just runs straight through.
There's a lot of things that you can say that they should fix in this Game 5, but I think the biggest thing right now is going to be nerves.
I think the one thing that they shouldn't fix is the drama, because that is at the perfect level for me right now. Incredible that we have reached this point. And a spot in the rival series goes to the winner, Tadpole. Incredible start for him.
I mean, starting off this 50-50 from Roniki. Zenzus dropping that down instead of up, not exactly knowing how Roniki would contest it, but Tadpole taking the shots when he has to. We can say that's a routine shot, but it is very easy to hit the post on those. It is very easy to go just a bit high.
Well, it might be a routine shot, but it's not a routine shot when you've got this much on the line. It's very easy to just go, I'm going straight down the middle.
Yeah.
I want it to be safe. I want it to be on target.
Oh!
As we almost see the game tied up almost immediately. Tadpole, backflip's going to need Roniki to come forward and help him out. He's now put up high. Tadpole, he's got people to aim for. There's a problem, however, with having target men be right down the middle of the field, is that that's also where the defenders are. Ball off the side. Roniki plays the ball long. Mount should be able to get this off the wall. Once again, Mount just seems to struggle just a little bit off the wall. There's a almost leads to a major situation. Mount wanted to get Zenzus, but Zenzus saw the shiny thing and went for the boost instead. Now Mount over to Nexo. Zenzus going to go all the way back. Instead now going to half rotate. Coming in. Needs to get a big win if they want to create anything from their current position. Off the backboard. Very little boost on the side of Zebra Nose, so they shouldn't be able to create too much there. Off the backboard, Mount. Been inconsistent so far, but that one was much better. Gets it all the way down to the other end of the field. Now Nexo can get the setup. Andem off the backboard. Will only clear it as far as Mount. And another big challenge. That seems to be Zebra Nose's bread and butter right now. Get the ball into the air, force the challenge, and end up winning it.
Generally, in final games like this or overtimes, you'll see teams slow down, but Zebra Nose doesn't have that room to breathe right now. That early goal that they conceded in Triple Trouble really had to change their mentality pretty much probably for this entire game. They know they have no choice but to score or else they will lose.
Zenzus plays it up high. Andem's going to go up. Gets enough to get it over to the corner, but Matt will immediately come back in. Tadpole can't get to that one. Nexo just couldn't quite reach it. You know he wanted to try and chase for it. Now Andem will chase. Gets beat to the ball by Zenzus. Still, one goal separating these teams from either A, going through to the rival series undefeated, or B, putting yourself on a knife's edge of going down to the lower bracket where you cannot make any more mistakes.
Zenzus keeping it out of the hands of Triple Trouble. Just pushing it to the corner, gently trying to follow it up, but his team wasn't able to get there in time.
Tadpole tries to play long. Still in the lead. Now Ronicky gets into Tadpole. Zenzus out of position. Nexo, though, is back and waiting. Zenzus can take his time. Took a little look there at taking the boost, but recognized that he had someone pressuring him. Still pretty low boost as well. Tries to offload the ball over to Mount, who levers a shot. Ronicky has to fly in and just push it over to the side. Now up yet again. Here's Tadpole. Off the backboard. Follow-up can come in from Andem, but another big block there from Mount. Still, Zebra Nose, this is the last position they want to be in right now. Stuck in defense, double committing for the ball. They have managed to make something out of this, though. Nexo wanted to get the block. Didn't quite get enough, and now it's over in the corner. This is going to slow the play down significantly and should be able to be cleared, and it is.
Both teams are executing passing plays, but a little bit chasey, just a little bit too far from their opponents.
Oh, and that's going to go in. The third man came forward just a second too early, and it gets them caught. You're going to see right now, tried to get there, couldn't, and Andem is not back in time.
That's gotta hurt. That's gotta hurt real bad. Andem had some boost, but I don't know how little exactly.
He was like partway through his rotation as he saw the ball come in. So usually when you rotate back, you go boost, then net. He didn't have the time for the boost on that one, and he couldn't get there in time for the ball.
Now back to a tie game. They can relax and maybe rely on overtime potentially. Just let this minute and a half run out.
Mount almost took advantage of the hesitation. Nexo now off the backboard. Gets the double tap. Plays the ball straight down. Double commit will result in the ball being cleared. Still two players all the way on the back. Zenzus, he's got Mount. Both of them end up being removed from the play after the mistake. And Tadpole can come in with a booming clear down to the other end of the field. 1 minute remaining now, Carpet. We are all tied up. Just seems like ever since that 5-0 victory in Game 3, we have been unable to separate these two teams at all.
Shogun, this is our first Game 5 of the Rival Series qualifiers this entire weekend.
I told you Europe wouldn't disappoint. And they certainly aren't right now. Ronicky getting beat to that. Tadpole can now come over. Both Andem and his teammate trying to go for a pinch play. Didn't quite work out as well as they were hoping. I'm sure they wanted a little bit more power. And you look at those sort of plays where the ball's just bouncing off the side, just going, yeah, it didn't go in, but it really could have, and that could have been the difference maker.
Especially when you have to make the decision of, it's going to bounce, right? I can just get it off the bounce,
so.
right?
Oh, coming in. There's the shot from Ronicky. 14 seconds remaining. 2-1. Triple Trouble could be about to be on their way to the rival series.
Not thinking Andem could get that by Zenzus. I didn't think this would result in anything close to a shot. But that got right past the second defender, and the goalie was left there, deer in the headlights. 14 seconds left. Triple Trouble is in the lead.
They've got a decent enough kickoff. They can open this up nice and quickly. Nexo going long. Ronicky all the way back. pushing the ball over to the corner. There is nobody there for Zebra Nose. They're going to have one more chance at that, but they keep giving the ball straight back over to Triple Trouble. And once this ball hits the floor, it is over. Lovely touch there from Andem, and Triple Trouble will be in the rival series.